Welcome back, ladies and gents, boys and girls. I apologise. I said I hope I wouldn't see you again with another driving test update until after the lockdown, and yet here we are again. But do not panic, this is actually good news for us this time, so hang around. Now, I saw over at Dvsa Driving, they brought some great news about 4 possible petitions that are circulating to try and get us back on the road, help you learners get back on the road quicker, and help us driving instructors also. So I just wanted to share my thoughts on these 4 petitions with you and give you another possible solution should these petitions not quite make it. Remember, if you want to stay up to date, you must update that subscribe button with a bell. Now, there are actually 4 petitions, and some of them have actually got a bit of a footing. So each of the petitions are in the description below with a link, so if you want to have a look, feel free. I am now just going to touch on each of them. Now, the first petition is to give priority to those that have had their driving tests cancelled due to lockdown or tier measures, anything related to Corona really. It's to properly give them priority first, rather than ending up with that big mess that we did before where there's just random tests throughout the year, and some people are getting tests 6 months away and others are getting them the next day. Now, I do wholeheartedly agree with this petition. Unfortunately, at the moment, it hasn't got many signatures, so if you want to get on board, click the link below and get signed. Now, the second petition is the one that we discussed in the last video, and it's about exempting driving lessons and driving tests from any coronavirus rules. So tier systems, lockdown, they are suggesting that driving lessons should go ahead throughout everything along with driving tests. Now, believe it or not, this has actually got over 15,000 signs, so it really has gained a footing. Now, they will get a reply likely in the next 2 to 3 weeks, but this could be delayed due to COVID as well. However, they've actually closed education this time. This time everything has been shut down. All schools, colleges, universities, you name it. So I cannot really see the government allowing driving lessons alone to go ahead while every other form of education is shut down. You'd also possibly struggle with driving test examiners who, without being offensive, are generally 40 to 50 plus, which means they're going to be in a higher risk category and they're going to be less likely to want to work, and I don't blame them. Again, these driving instructors do tend to be in the 50 plus range. Now, I am not, I get that, I am one of the exceptions, and I know a number of exceptions as well, but I'm talking about the greater majority. Now, the point is, they're going to be in a higher risk category and therefore likely they are not going to want to work. Now, what I believe would be a better petition than this is when education was to reopen that they also allow driving lessons at that point. Because I'd assume that if education was opening back up, the risk has reduced and driving lessons and driving tests are actually a form of education. You're learning to drive, you're learning to be safe on the roads. Why isn't it part of the education format? Especially when all the safety procedures are being followed. Now, another option should these first 2 petitions not go through would be to get a cancellation app. So at least you are prepared the second the tests do open back up that you are then able to get a test as soon as physically possible. Now, the third petition, which I believe is a little bit of a joke, is a requirement for all driving instructors and learners to be wearing face masks and protection while having their driving lessons. Well, I believe that everyone by this point should be wearing face masks and protective clothing if required, anywhere, being that in the car or anywhere else in public with other people. Surely we've learned by now that that is how we're going to stop the spread of this virus. And petition number 4, and the final one, now this one I really do support and I think it's absolutely correct. Driving tests should go ahead even through tier 4. Now, this has gained over 4,000 signatures, so it is starting to really gain a footing. If you want to support it, get in the link below, have a click and have a read through. Now, I really believe that this one, out of the 4 petitions, is the most likely and beneficial one out there, especially providing that all safety procedures are being followed, such as face masks, opening the windows, making sure areas are being sanitised, and using the track and trace. It is also a form of education as far as I'm concerned, and therefore should be under the education sector. The issue you may have with this is, again, examiners are going to be in a higher risk as a general rule, the same as some driving instructors will also, so they may be unwilling to work, therefore it's going to make life very difficult having a test anyway and also trying to get your driving lessons. Let's say none of those petitions actually get anywhere. What other options do you have? Well, as I've said before, get a driving test cancellation app. Yes, you've got to pay for them, but God, do they help you wonders. Now, loads of my students have been using this, and it's gone from trying to get a test 3 or 4 months away to having a test within a week. Now, if you are absolutely 100% ready for your test, this is an absolutely great tool to ensure that you're up to date and get the latest possible test available. Now, there are hundreds of apps out there. I personally recommend Driving Test Cancellations. Now, the reason for this is my students use it. It's been very reliable and they've got the most up-to-date tests. It also has a money-back guarantee. So should they fail to get you a driving test earlier, your money that you've paid for that will be refunded. So if you would like to have a look at this app or website, feel free to click on the link at the bottom. There is an affiliated link there. The site's called Driving Test Cancellations Now. So as you can see here, you've got a nice easy button that you can click, Get Test Cancellations Now. We're going to pop into that in a second, but first let's just have a look at the benefits of using this. So rather than you having to log into the DVR website throughout the day, this will actually search for a cancelled driving test every minute. You'll also receive notifications if you turn it on that will tell you the second a cancellation becomes available. Now this feature I absolutely love, and so do my students. It has an automatic driving test cancellation booking option. Basically what this means, if a cancellation comes up and you're out doing something or you're busy and you're not able to access your phone, you can tick the box. So basically it automatically books you in for the soonest possible available test. Now I know this could be an issue if your driving instructor is not available, but you can easily change that and cancel it and move it free of charge should you need to. And as I said before, there's a money back guarantee, so you'll get a full refund should they not be able to find an earlier driving test for you. So next, you can click this button, Get Test Cancellations, select your location. In my particular case, I'm going to pick a few, so you can actually tick multiple test centres. So I'm going to pick Stoke-on-Trent number 2, and Stafford. And we continue. Then you're going to be asked to pop your driving licence number in, your theory certificate, your email address, and if you've got a referral code, that as well. That will be in the box below, so if you'd like to help me and support my channel, pop that in as well. That is it for today, folks. As I said before, if you haven't already, now is the time to subscribe and you won't miss out. Thank you very much.